Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
All right, it's good to have you with us as we begin this Wednesday on First Alert 6 streaming. I'm Erin Hartley.
And I'm Cerise Cole. Thank you so much for joining us. Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord is here. We do not need the big winter coats today. That will certainly be nice, especially this morning.
Yeah, had 20s yesterday.
Yeah.
We have 40s out there this morning, so a lot better. To start off, still going to want probably long sleeves of some sort, obviously. 40s are plenty chilly, but you look out across the area, beautiful sunrise as we get rolling here. And a few clouds off in the distance. Those are spitting out a few sprinkles to the east, so keep that in mind. I don't think they're going to amount to much, but 43 with a light north breeze feels like 38. So yeah, you still want a jacket, but it's not as cold as it was yesterday. Falling to 43 in Omaha, 46 in Millard, 45 in Elkhorn. A couple of 30s showing up on the map. So a little push of some cooler air, and then the warmth will kick in once the sun rises here. 30s north, 40s south, even a 50 holding on in Falls City at 55 degrees. Right there. Temperature change compared to 7 o'clock yesterday. We're 10 to 20 degrees warmer out the door. So it's a noticeable difference as you get started on your Wednesday. You see now starting to get a north breeze, Omaha, Wahoo. Notice Falls City was in the 50s. They still got a south wind, so that wind will start to pick up a little bit each and every hour of the morning. Gusts to 25, 30 miles per hour starting around 10 o'clock and then persist through the afternoon. So pesky for sure, not damaging, but just, again, it'd be a great day if it wasn't for the wind. How many times do we say that? And that's the story again today. Here's what it looks like on the satellite and radar. Just some pockets of clouds moving through. From those clouds, we've got a couple of sprinkles. You can see a little bit here near Red Oak drifting through. Watch right here, maybe a little something trying to show up on the west side of Pottawatomie County, although it's moving a different direction. That could be birds moving through on the radar as well. Sometimes this is the time of the morning where birds and bugs can influence things. 9 o'clock, we're at near 50 degrees with that northwest wind noteworthy. By noon, we're in the 60s. By 3, we're up to 73. And a high today is 74. A couple things to watch after about 4 o'clock. This little batch of clouds could produce a couple spotty showers after 4, anywhere for our Nebraska viewers. I think there could be a couple little sprinkles or maybe at worst a brief little thunder shower dropping southeast through the area. Again, take whatever rain you can get. There's not much in the forecast, so hopefully you catch one of those if they develop. 57 degrees by 10. Pretty quiet night. You can see the clouds passing through. May spit out a few sprinkles heading towards the morning hours of tomorrow. That's why we got a 20% chance there with 67 for the high on Thursday, 66 on Friday. So things looking pretty good temperature wise. Just watch out for a couple little sprinkles. Could have something later on this afternoon.
Okay, let's talk about the weekend already.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday. It's close enough.
Oh, without a doubt.
However, the wind returns for the weekend.
We got a couple of those on this 3-day forecast. It's right there for the weekend as well, unfortunately. So the 2 days this week where it looks like the strongest wind will end up lining up Thursday with a northwest wind, and then again probably on Saturday with a south wind. So let's see how things roll here. We got the graphics trying to catch up a little bit on me. There's 7 o'clock this morning. Today we are going to see the winds pick up and gust out of the northwest. Those probably hit about 25 to 30 miles per hour. You can see into the mid-afternoon. That's what we have on the map. Then we go a little deeper into the day tomorrow. We're likely going to see those gusts pick up. You can see the stronger winds. There's middle of the afternoon on Thursday. We're talking gusts 35 to 40 miles per hour out of the northwest. But still, we're warm into the 60s. Not going to be incredibly cold, just a little on the annoying side. Friday's quiet. Saturday, there's your south wind starting to pick up 35 to near 40 miles per hour in the afternoon. And perhaps lasting a little bit into Sunday morning as well. But I don't think it's going to be windy all day on Sunday. Notice the strong wind in the afternoon to the west. That doesn't quite make it into the entire area on Sunday. So that's something to watch to see if we get those winds to pick up a little bit late in the day. So we'll be watching the wind and its influence on the temperature mostly over the course of the next 5 to likely 10 days. Up near 80 on Sunday, that's looking pretty good. And then 60s on the way for much of next week, the way things are lining up.
Yeah, nice few stretch of nice temperatures.
Yeah,
I
lining
like
up
it.
pretty well.
Yeah, not so nice, the traffic out there this morning, specifically that one on I-80.
This project, I think, goes on for months. So we're going to be talking about this each and every day. Look at the slowdowns on I-80 here. This is I-80 westbound as we make our way through L Street. There's the Q Street Bridge. And then off in the distance is Giles, and they've narrowed it down by a lane, and obviously things are bottlenecking a little bit through there. There is your traffic that's been, just like the last couple of days, backed up to 680, and then all the way down to Giles, the Giles exit, the Harrison Street exit. But also of note, so that's westbound traffic. Here's eastbound traffic. I haven't seen any indication of what may be causing this, but there's a pretty good slowdown eastbound approaching the Giles exit as well from about 144th towards Giles. So I don't quite know what's causing that, but that's something to watch too. Kind of a mess in the southwest side of town here. Otherwise, you got your normal slowdown here, the 480 interchange with crossing the river. I believe there's more construction there as well that has reduced some lanes, so that's bottlenecking things a little bit through there. So the usual construction spots, those are the ones causing the problems out there this morning. But it does look like no other incidents. We'll try to figure out what's happening on I-80 because usually it's just westbound. I'm not sure what's going on eastbound this morning, but.
Don't need that, too.
Yeah,
all right, Rusty, thank you.
LB3, the legislation aimed to change Nebraska to a winner-take-all, fails at the Unicam. 2 Republicans joined the Democratic minority to vote against the legislation. And during debate, proponents argued it is time for a change to the system. Opponents say a change would result in fewer campaign events coming to Nebraska in future elections.
The district plan is a miserable experiment and attempt to be a more representative of politically made-up districts and regions. However, this experiment has entirely failed to gain traction nationally.
I cannot support legislation that would relegate Nebraska to mere flyover country status where our concerns and voices are ignored on the national level.
Frederickson.
Well, Governor Jim Pillen, who had championed this legislation, responding to the vote, saying he was deeply disappointed that a minority of the legislature defeated the will of the majority by filibustering winner take all.
Now, winner take all has been a hot topic in the state long before yesterday's vote. Last June, Pillen suggested calling a special session to address the matter. Major national conservative figures did visit the state to push for it. In September, former state Senator Mike McDonnell announced he would remain a key holdout before the November election. Pillen dropped the special session idea a day later.
All right, here at the safety desk with our Maria Kate. And Maria, I'm guilty of this. Many people crave junk food.
I know, we all are, right?
Yes.
Well, you might be craving it, but there's a new study that's focusing on a link between that junk food and diabetes. You know, who would have thought, right?
Yeah.
Well, the study finds clusters of additives in ultra-processed foods can be linked to type 2 diabetes specifically. Now, the study was looking into these clusters that are often used in certain foods. And they say they may be more harmful when eaten together, so different types altogether rather than alone. Now, there were 2 specific mixtures that were linked to a small but significant increase in diabetes, and they say that's pretty notable because about 70% of all foods in grocery stores actually have these ultra-processed additives in them. So
that's a lot.
Something that we're consuming maybe and we don't even realize it.
All right, we're from diabetes now to colorectal cancer, and it seems like it's being diagnosed in younger and younger people.
Yeah, there are some statistics coming out that it is a bigger issue for the younger demographic, and a lot of times when they find out that they do have it, the disease unfortunately has progressed too far where it's not as treatable as if they would have caught it a little bit earlier, unfortunately. Now, most major health organizations recommend that people start screening at age 45. Doctors say a colonoscopy is the best option, but of course there are some other less invasive things that you can do as well. So one option is a stool-based test. You could do that at home. Doctors say it is expensive, and you would actually still have to do the colonoscopy after that anyways, even if the original test finds something is off. So there is also a CT colonography. It uses x-rays to reconstruct 3D images of the colon. And the third option, a blood test that can look for some small fragments of tumor DNA when colorectal cancer is present. But the only downside with the blood test is that it's actually less accurate than the other screenings.
The best thing you can do is get that colonoscopy.
Just get it. Yep.
Just get it. All right. But thanks for bringing it to our attention again, Maria Kate from the Safety Desk this morning, and we'll be right back.
All right, welcome back. It is 7:14 on this Wednesday morning. Taking a live look outside. Current Mutual of Omaha building right before as they're building that brand new one, of course. In the meantime, going to be a little bit of a windier and a warmer forecast. I don't know. Pick your poison. I don't know what's better.
We're going to get the better numbers, but the wind's still going to be annoying. At least you can get outside and enjoy it today. Jacket required though this morning. You're not going to need quite as heavy of a coat. We're 40s this morning compared to the 20s we had yesterday morning. So we got a good start to the day. Those numbers 10 to 25 degrees warmer in some spots. It just looks really, really nice to start off the day. Your winds, they're light, but now they're starting to switch out of the north. And that will be noticeable today, gusting up near 25 to 30 miles per hour. So bank on that being a little pesky all the way into the evening hours. Just enough there to make it a little annoying outside. There's a couple sprinkles as well. You may encounter a few of those on your way in, especially on the Iowa side. Otherwise, it doesn't look like there's too much else to worry about. Could have a couple more go right through here later on tonight. I wouldn't be surprised after about 4 or 5 o'clock to get a couple to develop as well. And that's the rain chances you see right here. Pretty minimal, but 4 to 8, maybe 4 to 9, and then maybe a couple more early in the morning. But notice they're not great rain chances, folks. Not a lot to worry about in that regard. Let's talk about the winds the next couple of days. They're out of the northwest today. By noon, up near 25, 30 miles per hour. Same story into the afternoon. And then they'll back off some later on tonight by 9 o'clock. Shouldn't have much to worry about, a fairly quiet night. Heading into the morning hours on Thursday, those will be out of the northwest and then pick back up towards lunch, 35 to near 40 miles per hour looking likely, and relax a little bit into the evening. So stronger winds tomorrow will be much more noteworthy. The thing is, at least it's a northwest wind, and it's going to help push any light tinge of smoke out of the area. Flint Hills down here in Kansas, they're burning. They do their prescribed burns every April. A south wind will send that our direction. That's what happened yesterday if you smelled a little smoke. And now the northwest wind is going to take that light smoke and drop it to the southeast today and keep it out of here for later on tomorrow as well. 67 for the high on Thursday, 66 on Friday. And there's your south wind kicking back up for Saturday and Sunday. It's going to help bring in some warmth to the area, but also a wind out of the south could drag a little more of that light smoke in as well. 74 on Saturday, up to 80 on Sunday.
I'm noticing 60s, 70s, at 80. I feel like we're in a springtime pattern now, Rusty.
Yeah, it's getting better and better. I will say, you got 60s to 70s to 80. The next progression is not 90 on Monday. We'll go 64 on Monday with a northwest wind kicking back in. And that'll keep us in the 60s. Very good spring weather. One thing to watch, though. Look at very minimal rain chances, if any. I'm hoping something by the end of next week can show up as far as moisture goes. Looks like we're going to be pretty dry heading into the middle of the month here, and warmer than average weather winds out from the central to the western portion of the country. The cold air, if there is any, is going to be to the east. So a lot of warmth. We've talking about this the last couple of days. A lot of warmth to be found. Unfortunately, it's going to be pretty dry. Now that we passed that cold morning yesterday, you could probably get the sprinkler systems going. You may need them by sometime next week.
Yeah, it would be nice if this year's Easter wasn't absolutely frigid. Last year it was cold.
That's a good point. I forgot about that.
Yeah, now it's like a whole month later because it was at the end of March. Now this year, it's towards the end of April.
It doesn't look like any cold blast, so the big thing is, will it be windy?
Yeah, I know.
Because we're always dealing with that.
Okay, Rusty, thanks.
You bet.
Happening today, a man accused of making threats to children and families in an Omaha park is expected to be back in court. Yesterday, Kalamula Rauf pled not guilty to disturbing the peace. His bond was set for $10,000. Today's appearance is for a separate charge. Deputies arrested him on Sunday. They received reports of a man saying racial slurs and that children should die to families at the park. Well, the Douglas County Sheriff's Office says they made one of the biggest carfentanil drug busts in U.S. history.
That's right. They seized 30 pounds of carfentanil. It's a fentanyl compound. That's about 150,000 pills. Investigators say they learned of a coordinated effort to smuggle those pills back in November. Authorities say carfentanil is 100 times more potent than fentanyl.
Well, the most insidious thing about fentanyl and carfentanil is that the cartels press it into facsimile pills to make it look like prescription medication. Even if 1% of those 150,000 pills proved to be fatal, that could have meant 1,500 people in Douglas County and in this surrounding area dying of a fentanyl overdose.
The sheriff says it can take as many as 8 doses of Narcan to prevent a carfentanil overdose. The Omaha Police Officers Association has filed a complaint against Mayor Gene Stothert.
The union alleges that Stothert and OPD Chief Ton Schmaderer dealt with officers circumventing union leadership. Union President Pat Dempsey says that labor laws set the standard for negotiating, and Stothert did violate that standard. The city attorney responded to the allegations, saying the actions taken by the city did not constitute an unfair labor practice. A hearing date has not yet been set. Happening today, state and city leaders are joining forces to have a groundbreaking. The city tells us this is for Levi Carter Park activity and sports complex. It's supposed to be around $45 million. The event is set for 2:30. Still ahead, there's a new Trader Joe's product going viral.
See what everyone's trying to get their hands on when we come back. Well, they're back. Trader Joe's is out with a new line of mini canvas tote bags.
All right, check these out. These new bags reflect the spring season. Oh, those are cute.
Pretty colors.
Oh, no. They come in a variety of pastels. Baby blue, mint green, pink, and lavender. The grocery store says the bags are ideal for some pretty small shopping trips. Trader Joe's released a different line of the mini totes last year, which also became a viral sensation. People across the country lined up to get their hands on bags. Luckily, they're pretty cheap. They're $2.99 a bag.
That's a good size.
Oh, yeah. All their bags are actually pretty affordable. They have. There's actually a limit of 4 per customer because Maria was saying that there's a lot of TikTok videos going viral of like people snatching the bags.
It got rough out there.
Every year we see something that goes crazy, and this looks like it's the new thing. People were dogpiling each other. It was a big bin of them, and they were just going in, diving in, trying to grab it.
They wanted every color, I bet.
I know. Well, now I want to check and see if the Trader Joe's here still has them, or if they
There's only
got
one
the
here,
craze.
so probably not.
Let us know. Give us an update
I will.
tomorrow. Okay.
All right, the Omaha Nursery is debuting a first-of-its-kind flower. Mulhall's is selling a firefly petunia, which gives off a soft glow in the dark.
I love this. So they tell us they're one of the first places in the country to actually sell it. Scientists developed the plant by using natural bioluminescence found in mushrooms. Mulhall says the flower is completely safe, and like a normal petunia, needs about 6 hours of sunlight a day. Mulhall says the supply is extremely limited. I'm so concerned about that. They don't expect those plants to last long, and we really want one,
Yes.
Rusty.
Yeah, if you get it,
Yeah.
keep it inside for a little bit. You know, the Mother's Day say you don't put anything outside till Mother's Day. There's at least 2 more chances for frost in my forecast. Not a hard freeze, but you spend that money on a glowing petunia, you want to make sure you keep it.
Yeah,
don't want to hear about the freeze, Rusty.
A little on the freeze, but appreciate the heads up.
You bet.
I'm afraid they're going to be gone by the time we get them.
Most likely.
Probably.
All right, that's a great idea. I love it. All right, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to get ready for our update in the Today Show. You can watch it here on streaming or over the air.
Have a great start to your Wednesday.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Good Wednesday morning to you. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
I'm Erin Hartley. Already traffic troubles on this Wednesday morning. We'll give you a first alert with Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord.
And it's all centered around I-80 in the southwest side of town. This is what we've been dealing with each and every morning. The westbound lanes restricted by a lane. You got to get right to get through there, and you can see the bottleneck of traffic trying to do that as they're working on a lane widening. So a little pain here to get some gain and open those lanes up, but that's what it looks like right now, extending all the way back to 680. There's also lane restrictions the other direction as well as you're trying to get on from 144th to go eastbound heading towards Giles. Lane restrictions there as well. So a lot of construction going on along I-80. Very, very difficult to get through there in a timely fashion. So we'll be monitoring this all morning long, and you can see a beautiful start to the day. You got a little sunlight through some of the high clouds moving through. There's a couple little sprinkles out there on the Iowa side as well. 43 right now, much warmer than yesterday, about 20 degrees warmer than yesterday. You can see a couple of those sprinkles moving through the Red Oak area. Not much to worry about with those. Clouds around at times today, but enough sunlight gets through that we should be able to warm. There's a northwest wind that'll go 25 to 30 miles per hour with some of the gusts, so it will be a little on the breezy side today. And later on, we'll still be able to warm. How about 70 by 2 o'clock, up to 74 by 5 today with quite a bit of sunshine sneaking through. Again, it can be a little breezy at times, but still very nice as far as the temperature goes. Aaron?
A bill aimed at changing the way Nebraska divides votes for president has failed to advance. 33 votes were needed to overcome the filibuster. 2 Republicans joined the Democratic minority to vote against the legislation.
Well, it is 7:28. We are back with another update for you in about 25 minutes. We'll see you then.